Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another time here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another time on the book club. So what we got to do Sunday afternoon. Been reading through the book. There's a sixth book in the series, The Good Life. Uh, book that came out back in January this year by Robert Waldinger and Matt Schutz. It's our sixth book in our book club series, and we started this July, the first Sunday in July, and we're still on this. Probably will take us till mid next year, before we go to our seventh book. So it's all about it's a summary of the study by Harvard School on human development. Looking at adult development and trying to find out what makes for the best adult development, what makes for a healthy, rewarding, quality, long, rewarding, satisfying with adult development. And what they came up with is that it all boils down to relationship, having the right types and quality of relationship will ensure that you develop and age gracefully. You're able to have both the width and the length of life. So what we're doing is pretty much the book is a compilation of the study, the results. And so what we're doing here is pretty much going through the book, seeing the study, looking at all the things they gathered, and pretty much trying to tap into the results, right? The good in the study, the result of the study, so that we can apply the same in our individual lives, so we can have a good life. No, we can have a good life. We can have a quality life. We can have the length, and the width of life, we can have long life and not just have long life, but we have a quality long life. That's all we're trying to do. We're presently in chapter 4 of the book, and we've had this is our fourth session in chapter 4. The title of chapter 4 is Social Fitness, which is the ability or the propensity of a person to be able to create and maintain relationship. The propensity of a person, or the quality of a person to be able to create and maintain relationship. That's what social fitness is. Just like parallel to physical fitness, mental fitness, just talking about our ability to maintain our own stand in our social universe, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about our social universe, right? Because that's where social fitness works in, is we being able to stand, stand well in our social fitness. We're able to get the qualities, the blessing, of our social universe. All right, I'm going to bring up my slide like always, and we're going to go into this. So that's the book, and pretty much our schedule we'll look at every time. We're going to close out chapter 4 today. We're going to start with chapter 5 next Sunday, God willing, and we go on, from there. And chapter 5 is pretty much looking at attention to relationships, right? Pretty much will build from where we had, from chapter 4. Again, there's 4 times in chapter 4, and we're going to close it today. And really we're going to look at our social universe. Our social universe is pretty much, our environment, our social environment, is comprised of all the people we get to interact with, on a social level, starting from our family, our friends, our colleagues, our associates, people we meet on social media, people we call on the phone, those we probably don't see for years, but at least for one reason or the other, we have a social interaction with. That makes up our social universe, and that, affects our life socially, and obviously socially, emotionally, psychologically, and otherwise, so the first thing to ask ourselves is, who is in my life, or who is in my social universe? And like, again, those are people that close friends, family, relations, colleagues, associates, people that you have one connection to the other. If you want someone like me that spends a lot of time on social media, everyone that has a connection to me one way or the other within my social universe, right? I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Workplace, in the office, I'm on Facebook, Instagram Live, Instagram itself, and Twitter, X, and so that's my social universe, and for me, my social fitness is my ability to to use all of this, or not allow any of it to use me, right? To be able to use all of this in a way that is positive, beneficial, increases me, does not decrease me, right? That is a measure of my social fitness, my ability to create relationship in all of these different fronts, these different places, and also maintain the relationship, right? Obviously, there are some relationships that are not meant to be maintained, right? So we're talking about maintaining positive relationship, and we begin to look at this in a spatial 2D diagram. That's what we'll be looking at in this session here. We'll look at a 2x2 matrix and tell ourselves how each person in our social universe affects us, right? So pretty much the second question to answer after I identify all the people in my social universe is to ask myself the character of the relationship, the quality and the frequency of the contact, right, of each of the person in my social universe. How often do I get to interact with them, and what is the quality of our contact? Do I get energized, elevated, or do I get drained? It's a parasitic relationship where it's a win-lose or lose-win, or it's a win-win, relationship. Does it fill my tank, or does it drain my tank? Is it one I look forward to and the other person looks forward to also, or one I dread? Does it make me a better person? Does it bring out the good in me, or does it bring out the stress in me? Example, we went through the election period, and you have so many people wanting you to be like them, and they're scared when you're not like them, and they're wanting to witchcraft you. I mean, those are not kind of relationship you want to spend your time with, right? So, but you need to understand the different people, your social universe, and the quality and the frequency of your contact with them, whether they're energizing you, depleting you, whether that contact is frequent, infrequent, right? So obviously in the office, you spend a lot of hours. So that probably talks about people that are frequent in the office. Then you then have to ask, does it add to you, or does it take away from you? And so once you do that, this is a diagnostic level that you then determine what to do with it. Obviously, if it's something that is not energizing you and you can do away with, you spend your time away from such, right? And if it's one that is energizing you and you need to probably make it more frequent, fine, you do that. But when you do this, put this in a 2x2 matrix, just helps you to understand where people fall in your social universe. Then you can talk about whether it's okay the way it is, or you could make some better. That's all. That's pretty much identifying, where you have from a social standpoint. So quickly look at things that elevate or are important to us from a relationship standpoint. First of all, is the fact that we're social animals, right? We're social creatures. God has created us to be people that need to interact with other people. We grow by interaction. We grow by interaction. by the amount of interaction we have, we get influenced, and we need it, right? We're not going to grow to the fullness of who and whole that we are unless we interact with someone else, and we allow ourselves to be influenced, to be corrupted by that person, even as we corrupt other people with ourselves, right? So that's where you have people with single parents could have challenges. If you're a single parent, you see whatever sex the single parent is, and if the parent doesn't understand this, you end up making women of men or men of women, right? Because as social creatures, social animals, we're created to be influenced, even as we influence other people also. So in one way or the other, a boy needs a man to influence him. A girl needs a woman to influence her, right? Because the fullness of who we grow to become comes by the influence we get from those that are ahead of us, right? But positive or negative, right? It's now up to us to then decipher in those influence and pick the good and take away the evil part of it. But we're created to be influenced. We're created as social animals. Our joy, our fullness comes from interaction with other people, right? As social animals, we're every organism, right? Is for the essence of every organism is not within that organism, it's outside of that organism, right? The essence of every human being is outside of that human being, right? Everything that takes place on your inside, right? Whether it be physical, social, spiritual, mental, psychological, is to prepare you for engagement with someone else, right? Is to prepare you to engage positively with someone else. The test of whether the job has been done on the inside of you or not comes when you engage with someone else. That interaction tells about your maturity, right? Whether you are emotionally matured or not, physically matured or not, mentally matured or not, that is tested when you engage someone else. That's what we talk about for you to be ready for marriage. It's to be emotionally matured, because that emotion will affect your interaction with someone else. Your social interaction with someone else is affected by your emotional maturity. That maturity takes place on the inside of you, but it's tested when you engage someone else, right? You're not going to engage someone else on your own. You're going to engage someone else other than yourself. And that is when your maturity is tested. Your maturity takes place on the inside of you, but it's tested when you engage with someone else, right? So, uh, life is meant to be give and take, right? That's what we do when we interact with one another. We give, we receive. We give, we receive. We're social animals. We're created to be like that. We will not be complete when we don't, right? And we talked about loneliness, last week. Loneliness is the hunger, is a symptom that comes to us when we're not having the right amount and quality of social interaction with someone else, right? So, and that is archaic to our being, that destroys everything within us, physically, mentally, spiritually, because we're created to interact. And when we don't, that results in loneliness, right? All right. So some things that support our social universe, or the things we get or help us, in being socially fit, or the things we get from our social universe, right, include safety and security, right? When I relate with someone, or if my interaction is such that gives me safety and security, right, then it's something that energizes me. It's something that increases me, right? If I am in a place where people give me that sense of oneness, that sense of belonging, right? It fills my tank, right? So that is what you want from your social universe. You want a place where you feel safe, you feel secure, you can be yourself. You don't have to be someone else. In general terms, we'll call that your tribe, right? When you are with your tribe, you can be yourself. You can be free. You don't have to be too cautious trying to do a make-believe life. You can be yourself and you'll be accepted. And that's what you want. You're looking for such a place. That's what fills you up, right? That's an energizing relationship, right? You're also looking for a place to learn and grow. Like I said earlier on, we're created to be influenced. And you want things that will influence you in the direction, in the line that you want to go. Things that will push you in the path that you want to go. Things that will push you in the path of your purpose, right? That will bring out the better part of you, that will make you a better person. If that'll make you a more matured person, that will cause that the better version of you come out of you, right? That will grow you, grow the person that you are. That's the kind of relationship or social interactions that feed you up, energize you, and that's what you want. That's your desire. That's what you want more of, right? Not the ones that don't, right? So the other thing we get from our social universe also is emotional closeness and confiding, right? You're looking for people that you just feel close to. You feel a sense of com, what they call it, camaraderie. You feel a sense of friendship. You feel a sense of this person jives with me, and this person, I can tell my secret, and this person will understand and keep it secret, you know, and it's a place where you can be open and honest, that fills you up. That's what you're looking for in a relationship. You're looking for a place of affirmation and shared experience, where something that says that you are okay who you are, not someone that's trying to make you something else. And I used to be in that environment, where a lot of people don't understand me, and they really would love that I be them or that me. And that's crazy. 2 years ago, I was talking to someone and said, hey, after 25 years, if you all are still trying to change me, then you all are the ones that have problem, not me. I am who I am. I am not going to fit into anybody's small box. Some people who have no self-esteem, they don't have any, they have an inferiority complex. So all they want to do is make you fit into their small box. And that's not going to work with me, right? I'm a rebel when it comes to that. I'm not going to fit into anybody's small box, and that's not the kind of relationship that I'm looking for. That would not feel someone like me. I get filled in a place where people are not scared of who I am, and we all need to look for that, and that's probably one of the things that benefited from my old church. I've been there 28 years, so I could just be, because I have history, but even that didn't work. There's some people that were still bent and doing some whatever, the evil people in every place, people who are not matured, and their immaturity kind of shows up, uh, but that's not a place you want to be. You don't want to be in a place where people are trying to make you who you are not, right? That's not going to benefit you. That's not a friendly environment, right? You need to be in a friendly environment. A friendly environment is a place where people will affirm the person